Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host, and I'm coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. Davey and the gang are in the other room answering the phone, so if you'd like to join us, let us know what's going on in your neighborhood or in your artful life. Please feel free to call. We are missing our co-host tonight. Julia Percisepi has moved on, and we're wishing her all kinds of luck and everything. And I have to tell you, we have gotten some great responses for someone to replace Julia here on the set with me, and I think we've got somebody coming in next week that's gonna see how she thinks about me. I think that's what we're gonna look at when she comes in. But we're very, very excited about that. It's going to be another phase in this program that we've been doing for these many years. I go back to when BNN TV was a little closet that you sat in, and there was a hole in the wall, and the camera was sticking through the hole, and you just kind of winged it there, answered the phone yourself, the whole thing. But we have grown with BNN, and we're very, very proud of our affiliation here. So we're very excited about a new phase that's going to start. We're going to be learning some new things with a new co-host, so it's going to be very, very exciting. I want to tell everybody that this past Saturday down at the Farmers Market, it was a remarkable, incredible day. An amazing performance by Patricia, who is this incredible jazz pianist and singer. She had her bass player and trombone player and drummer with her, but she also brought along, this is a concept that is not new, but it's something we don't see very often. Tap dancing. So the other percussion instrument was a tap dancer. It was pretty cool. So it was a lot of fun to do that. I want to thank Patrice. She was really gracious in coming and playing. Mr. Kurt will be there next week. We're very excited about that. He's going to be coming and playing with his new band. So come on down next Saturday. Come by the sound booth, say hello. Let us know that you are tuning in to BNN TV. You know, I want to take a minute also, before I go too far, I have my very first solo show tomorrow night at the Liberty Hotel, the old Charles Street Hotel. It's tomorrow night, reception, one night only, one-person show, and it's 10 or 12 pieces of my artwork that I've been working on and I've been doing. It'll be from 6:30 to 8. At the Liberty Hotel. Right in the main lobby, if you come in, there's going to be a reception, there's going to be some beverages, there's going to be some snacks, and all of my artwork. So come on by if you'd like. The Liberty Hotel's the old Charles Street Jail. You know, I didn't realize till not too long ago how appropriate the name Liberty Hotel is, since it's an old jail. I think that's kind of cool. But we'll be there, so please come on by and say hello if you're downtown hanging a boot and looking for something to do. Drop by and say hello, please. One of the other things that we like to talk about here at BNN TV is BNN TV. BNN TV is a remarkable place. What we do here, I've been, like I said, been here for years and years. This is an opportunity and a place where you can come and do television. This is a place where you come and get your message out. And we're going to prove it today because the two guests that we have today are members here at BNN. We're very excited to have them with us. But BNN TV is an opportunity for people who want to be doing television production, who want to get out and try, learn how to do editing in Final Cut Pro, learn how to do lighting, how to do sound, how to do, shots out in the community. And take some lessons here at BNN and produce your own program down in our amazing Timothy Smith lab down on the first floor where all of these state-of-the-art Macs are with the big screens, the real kind, the kind you see on TV, the kind that make TV literally, and you get to do your editing and all of that stuff down there, and lo and behold, they put it on TV for you. So it's a very, very exciting place. The other side, which the station you're watching right now, is news and information. And what they do here is they give nonprofits an opportunity to get on TV and talk about their mission statement. To get, if you're working for a nonprofit and you're doing community work and you're really hardly, it's hard to get your name and your word out there. You come here and you do a program, a 20-minute program or a 50-minute program, and you sit and you do. You get your mission statement out there. You talk about what your your organization is doing. You bring your guests in to talk about the different things that you've been working on over your seasons and over your fiscal year, and it's just a great place to come and do it. We're right in the heart of the city. We're in Eggleston Square. It used to be the old power station for the MBT Orange Line that used to run from Forest Hills downtown and beyond. So what it was when we got it a few years now, 5 or 6 years ago, it was a musty, old, unused building that had been abandoned for 30 years because high tech had caught up with not having to run these generators to get these trains up and down the tracks. So we kind of took it over here and swept it out nice and clean, threw away all the old stuff, and put in 2 state-of-the-art television studios. So if you're interested in doing things like that, if you go to www.bnntv.org, click on Janice Williams or Jim Atwood's name, gets you right to the information you need to know about being a producer here at BNN. On either side, everything's in one building here, and it's a great place to come and do TV. One of the other real cool things that they do here is if there's somebody outside of Boston, outside of the sound of my voice, who wants to see this program, if they just go to that website, www.bnntv.org, and click on this What's Showing Now, automatically streaming, lo and behold, my orange shirt will show up in their computer. So it's kind of a really cool thing. We actually have people that are watching this program because we have guests who aren't just from Boston. We have guests who are coming through Boston. It's an arts show, so there's other arts organizations that really kind of want to know what's going on in the Boston area. So we have people from Albany, New York that are watching. We've got people down in New Jersey, people all the way across the country, out in Portland, Oregon. We had somebody on whose family was out in Portland, so they wanted to watch the show, so they clicked on, and they kind of every now and then click in to see what we're doing out here on the right coast. They're on the left coast. Not the wrong coast, the left coast. That's a joke between us. So it's kind of like we reach out and we get a lot of people involved in our program. So, like I said, if you're interested in doing something like that, go to www.bnntv.org. I can't say it enough because we love our new members and we love what we're doing here, and we want you to be involved too. Now, I mentioned that it's an nonprofit side of this, and our great supporter here at BNN, the people who keep us on the air, we've been friends with them for many years. The Boston Main Streets program helps keep us on the air. What they do is they are the volunteer-driven organization that helps revitalize business districts around different parts of the world now. It started in 1986 when the then City Councilor Tom Menino brought it to an urban setting. It used to be for malls. It used to be for, these big bursting places to buy things. But they thought they'd try it in an urban setting where people have mom and pop stores and where people can walk to get what they need. So this is what they decided to do, and they did it in Rosendale Square. And Rosendale Square at the time was a very dangerous and scary place to go. You wouldn't go down there at night. But now, people are standing in line on a Tuesday and Thursday night to get into a restaurant, at 8 o'clock at night. So Main Streets is a great group. What they do is they work with the property owners so that they get the right demographic information. They find out what people are leaving that community to buy at those malls. Malls serve a purpose. I'm not saying they don't. And they give them all that demographic information, who's living here, who's spending money here, and stuff like that, so they get the right business down in the storefront. After the business is in there, then there's a design committee that comes in and helps them design the place, get the right kind of signage, make sure that everything's hunky-dory with the city, make sure that the permits are all right and stuff. And then there's the promotions committee, which puts on events that bring people down to the business district to find these new stores. So if you see someone in the Main Streets t-shirt and stuff, and they're the ones that run the farmers market, these great farmers markets all over the city, they're run by the Main Streets programs. If you see someone in the Main Streets jacket or Main Streets t-shirt, make sure you thank them, please. Thank them for us, because they're only volunteers. Not only, because they're volunteers, and they're only doing it because they love their community just like you do. So make sure you thank them for us here at BNN. We've got a great, great show tonight. If you want to chirp in and you don't want to call 617-708-3290, you can tweet me at It's All About Arts, and I'll be right here answering my tweets. And also this show will be on our YouTube station this time tomorrow night. So if you miss part of the show or you want someone to see it real quick, you can tell them to go to their YouTube station and type in It's All About Arts 1, the number 1. And all of our shows come up. There's many shows from past shows and all of that kind of cool stuff. So, you know what we're also working really hard at doing is getting somebody here from the organization to come on to talk about, this is the 30th anniversary of BNN TV. They should be very, very proud of the things that they're doing. We're trying to get somebody to come in and talk a little bit about history, talk a little bit about what BNN means to the community, and so please stay tuned for that programming. We're going to be doing that very, 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 very soon. So, look, we've got a great show tonight. Like I said, we've got a couple of great members of BNN that are going to come up and talk about some of the stuff that they're doing. But you are watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn. We're going to look at a couple of videos, and we're going to get our guests up here. Listen, gang, don't go away. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Comes a time when everybody needs to be with someone. Well, now's the time when I have realized you're that someone. How could I have been so for me. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Now how could I have been so blind when you have been there all this time? I need you.
Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. I do want to remind you that if you want to see this program, it will be up on our YouTube channel this time tomorrow night. If you go to It's All About Arts 1 on your channel, it'll get you right to what we're doing, and you can see a whole bunch of past shows and stuff like that. And please subscribe. Let us know what you think, how you feel about what we're doing. We're working hard here, everybody, and we like to know if you think we're, how we're doing. It's nice to hear every now and then. And also, if you want to send us a tweet, you can do that at It's All About Arts. Or as we call it in Rosendale, It's All About Arts. So listen, right now though, it's my great, great pleasure and honor to introduce you to Patricia. I knew I was going to do that.
That's okay.
Patricia.
Yes.
Lee. Hello. I wanted to call you Patricia. I don't know why.
That's okay.
Is it the Colombian?
My mother called me Patricia.
Patricia.
But there's a little story behind that.
Okay.
I was at the Abraham Lincoln in kindergarten, and it was either first grade, and they were calling Patricia, Patricia. And I never answered. And my mother came up to the school to find out, like, where has my daughter been? Because my attendance, yeah. And she was like, no, that's your name too. I'm like, oh, okay. But everyone calls me Patty Lee.
Okay, Patty.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you so much for coming on our program.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure to have you here. You are first of all, is it true you're a member of B&M?
Yes, I am a member.
How long have you been a member here?
Since August 21st last year.
Well, thank you for being here. How do you like it so far?
I think it's excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I've met some fantastic people. Yeah. It's an excellent opportunity and honor and a privilege to be able to go into people's living rooms or on their iPads or Macs or wherever people are tuning in, and just to share, what's going on in our community.
Yeah, well, that's great. I have you down here as a freelance photographer. You're a photographer as well?
Yes.
I know that we're going to be talking about your dad's work and stuff, but what kind of photography do you do, Patricia?
I do all kind of events.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it's been mainly religious organizations.
Okay, yeah.
But I also do studio work.
You do?
I really like portraiture.
You like portraiture?
Yes.
Human portrait people?
Families, yes.
Oh, nice, yeah. Do you carry a point and shoot around with you in case you see that perfect shot?
Yes, I have my Canon in my bag.
I haven't met a real photographer who hasn't said that. Who says, yeah, I don't trust these phone things. I got my gear with me.
But I like the phones
so convenient,
too.
Isn't it?
It is.
This is the digital age. I mean, I can't wait to start talking about your dad's stuff because it's such a historic walk through this amazing city of ours. He obviously worked with an analog camera.
Yes, he did.
He had film, and stuff. So, did you work with photography because your father was such a photographer?
I believe so. He early on just tired the whole family of pictures. I mean, we would wake up and there was a camera in your face and you're bathing and it's like, oh, I'm a young little girl, can you please stop? And around maybe 12 and 13, he gave me a Mamiya and he started to teach me how to shoot. Yeah. So we did a lot of landscapes.
Yeah.
A lot of
See, people, I know that I'm not going to say photographer. I take a lot of pictures too, and every now and then there's that, there's one that kind of looks halfway decent.
Right.
It's the eye. It's not the equipment necessarily all the time. Sometimes it's getting that right light and especially in the analog days, because you'd have to wait till the light was right.
Right. And even if it wasn't, it would have to be a very long exposure.
Right.
A lot of patience. My father was very patient. And I went through a lot of film, but I did learn. Yeah. But I went back to school.
Yeah. Oh, you did? You studied photography?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Where did you do that?
New England Institute of Art.
Beautiful. What a great place.
It is, and they have the state-of-the-art machines. And I found out that you can actually come to B&N and learn a lot of that stuff at a much less cost.
Yes, you can. You can, but I think that the atmosphere over at the Institute is such that you're going to be creative.
Yes.
You know, you're surrounded by the people, a lot of the people. That, not that I'm not comparing the two. That we're
Right.
apples and oranges.
Right,
but,
right.
but they really do it right up.
They do. They do. I really learned how to scan the negatives and positives that my father left me on a XLR, I believe, 12,000, and it's like an $18,000 machine.
Yeah, it's the big dog.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I actually learned how to professionally print 20 by 30s, and you know.
Oh, that's a skill. There's you don't just point. You just don't push buttons.
No.
We don't drop our stuff off always at CVS.
Right. No,
you
we
know?
don't.
You know, so, did you work in black and white at all?
I haven't. My father did. Well,
That's why I was going to ask.
actually, the Mamiya, I did do a lot of black and white when I was young.
I didn't know if you did any darkroom work.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I was a little scared.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy in there with all them chemicals. And it smells
is.
bad.
It does. It does. No, but we did spend time, you know, in the dark room, and he showed me. I actually have all of his equipment.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, let's talk about your dad's work. He was a real South End. Was he a real South End guy?
Yes. He was from the Berry.
Yeah.
He was born on Bauer Street.
Okay.
In the 50s. And my family actually lived on Warren in the South End. Warren Ave or Warren Street. I get them confused all the time. Shame on me.
They're all in the same neighborhood. That's okay.
Yes, and right near Columbus Avenue. And so my grandparents lived there. My mother owned her first home there.
Yeah.
And so that's where they started to have their family.
Right. My father was from Talbot,
Okay.
and that's where we first grew up. Where my mother and him were. Then we moved to Rosendale when I was very, very young because they had their issue. And then, but I've gone back to the area, and one of the things that I have fallen in love with that whole area is the architecture. Some of the buildings are so incredible. We're going to see some incredible work that you did. What was his favorite thing to shoot?
That's really hard to say because he was such a community guy. He loved people. He loved people. And but he also loved the structures, the architecture of Boston. So between the two, it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, but the library is huge, though.
It is.
I mean, when was it a foregone conclusion that all of this work was going to fall into your lap to do some kind of archiving with, or was it a what did you say?
Exactly.
Excuse me?
Exactly. I at that time I was raising two young men. And doing the single parenting, and I was working full-time at the Anti-Defamation League, and he approached me and he said, do you mind helping me with archiving? And I did just that. What did you say?
I could tell.
And then in 2005, when he passed away, you know, you're going through things, and I was like, wow, look at this rich legacy, a treasure that he's left me. And, you know, a lot of people are telling the story in the community, and I feel like it's my responsibility to tell the story. My father did try and approach different historical societies in Boston with his work to say, you know, this is the history of Boston, and how can I be involved, or, you know, trying to get sponsorship, et cetera. But that wasn't made available to him.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've kind of taken it upon myself to just knock on the doors, you know, do the work. I've had exhibits at the South End Library, Grove Hall Library recently, Hibernian Hall, the Harriet Tubman House, and different places around
How's the
Boston.
response been?
People love it. I love to hear like the feedback. You know, do you remember?
Yeah.
Oh, and you know, so.
Well, it triggers a thing in someone's mind, and they go, I remember when that building, and now you get somebody else telling you a story about About
their
your
ex-
hometown.
Right,
Yeah.
about their experience. So it's been not only my dad's story or my story, it's been the community's story,
Yeah.
you know.
That's great. Let's, can we delve into some pictures? Can we take a look
Yes,
at some
of
work?
course,
Okay, we're going to
yes.
take a, you're going to be able to see right here on this
Okay.
monitor. So,
Great. That's
now who are those two?
those two. That's my father, Elliot,
Yeah.
and that happens to be me, maybe on a bad day. He was a social worker, so he's really good. This is Washington Street, near where the elevated track is. On the left-hand side, you see what it is now.
And that's something you would have shot?
Yes.
Yeah.
And on the right is what my father shot, 1727. It is now a dog parlor.
Uh-huh.
So you can see kind of like the contrast.
Yeah, yeah. I do. No, I get it.
Regentrification, and I mean, it can be good, it can be bad.
Okay.
This is East Concord Street, walking towards Washington Street, and you can see the elevated track.
Yeah, you can. And that's the new look on the right.
Yes. This is, well, everyone knows John
The
Hancock.
Hancock, yeah.
And they would call it Plywood Plaza. Do you remember when the windows would fall out?
I do remember the windows were falling. I wouldn't go downtown.
I said, Mom, can we go?
No,
Are you
you
crazy?
crazy?
No. And he actually followed the billboards in our neighborhood because they were doing a lot of marketing on alcohol, tobacco, and lottery.
Right.
So he was a part of
Getting all
group
that
of
stuff
people,
down for the
yes,
kids, yeah.
because it's detrimental to us.
Yep.
Images affect us. And this is just the skyline. His skyline.
Wow. Where would he have taken that from?
You know, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I'll
Glenn.
bet.
Is
I'll
that
bet there must be
Cambridge?
things you're going through trying to figure out exactly where he was,
Yep.
and time of year and all of that.
Exactly. This is a before and now too. Before that is Tremont and Milford Street and Dwight Street, that whole block.
Yep.
So you can see that it's undergone a great big change.
You put that together really well too. That's kind of cool where the building moves right with it.
Thank you. And this is, can you guess?
No.
Going into downtown Washington Street.
Oh, wow.
Approaching, is it St. James Stewart Street or which?
Oh, I know where you are now. I see it. Yeah. That's great. Uh-oh.
My father was also a social worker,
Uh-huh.
so he was just showing how alcoholism
Yep.
affected the community. And you can't see in the picture, but there's snow on the ground. So he's knocked out, and you know, he really cared about people, and he was actually a part of a group of people that started detoxes in the inner city as well, Open Ear, and First Incorporated.
Okay, great.
This is, you would never believe, St. Cloud.
Really?
Yeah, that building is like, has to have 3 or 4 owners because of the revenue that it makes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Look at that wall, huh?
yeah. And it has actually, when Mel King was running for, I think it was city council.
Okay, we got time for a couple more.
This is Warren Ave. And it even that is like so changed, huh?
Oh, the whole area has been...
This is from the elevated track on Northampton.
Ah! After the screeching through Dudley. Right?
Exactly, yes.
I wrote it every day.
Me
Oh,
too.
there it is right now. Now, are we looking at Mass Ave?
Mass Avenue and, yep,
In Washington.
in Washington.
Look
And
at these old storefronts, huh?
Yep. Brothers Supermarket.
Yeah.
That's the East Berkeley Street Garden.
Yes. It's still pretty,
Shamet
it's still
Ave.
going, right?
Yes, it is. It's 30. My mother had a garden there for about 30 years. It's
Wow.
like maybe 35 years old. And that building is like completely renovated. It's
Oh, it's
beautiful.
all little condominiums now
Yes,
and what
it's
have you.
beautiful. And this is Tremont Street and East Berkeley Street, right near the Berkeley Garden as well.
Beautiful. Oh, there's Brothers Spa.
Harrison Avenue,
Yeah.
Springfield Street.
Yeah.
That's
That's amazing. What is that?
the corridor when they started to lay the tracks
Yeah, yeah.
for the new
Oh,
orange
the
line.
new orange line.
Yep, on Mass Avenue.
That's fascinating. That's great. As we were going through those, I was saying to myself, you had to search out and find some of the positions and places where your father had taken pictures. How was that for you?
It's exciting to go back and
Yeah.
to look and to see how far we've come.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's good. It's nice that, you know, things are being renovated. But when we, as a community, put more emphasis or more importance on a building than human life here in the community, I think there's an imbalance.
Yeah, that's so true. There's an event coming up you wanted to talk a little bit about.
Yes, our niece. Oh, go on.
No, no. I was just going to say Through Elliot's Eyes, curated by daughter Patty Lee. Your
Yes.
daughter Patty? Or
Yeah,
you?
I'm
You're
Patty Lee.
See, now you've got me, you know. So when is this event? Please tell us.
This is happening July 30th,
Okay.
and it will be at the Harriet Tubman House from
Excellent.
6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and they are honoring visionaries in affordable
you got
housing.
quite a list of visionaries right there.
Yes, Theodore Parrish, Mel King, Mary Longley, and Thaddeus Miles. I hope I'm saying his name right.
I think so.
Okay.
I want to thank you
Thank you.
for coming in and spending a little time with us. Let's do it again. Don't be a stranger.
Okay, I won't. Thank you so much for
Okay.
having me.
Thank you so much
All
for
right.
being here, Patty. Listen,
Take
gang,
care.
we're only halfway through. We've got more great show to come up. We've got another great guest coming up. You're going to have a lot of fun with. Listen, gang, don't go away. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. We'll be back in just 1 minute. Thanks.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Different view, dream come true. Bolts of lightning from the blue. It's upside down, it turns around. Still this rock and roll is you. Feel good time. A friend of mine is giving eyesight to the blind. Electric wires, they never tire. They echo from a distant time. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. And I will give you all that I can. If you would show me a better plan than to jam the night away. This rock and roll will be the death of me. I'm suffocating in a pounding deep cloud in perfect harmony. Things I see on my TV, the depth throes of society. I lost my soul to rock and roll. It's rock and roll.
Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. That was a great segment. Thank you, Patty, for being here with us. We really appreciate all of the work that you do, and your father's work is fabulous. We're going to make sure people know about the 30th so they get them over there to the Harriet Tubman. But right now, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce you, or welcome back, or say hello to old
Welcome
friend
back.
Tom. Hello, Tom Hayes.
Glenn,
How are you?
great to be here.
I'm glad you would be able to come tonight.
I know. It was great. I missed the last show. I feel so guilty.
No,
I thought I'd never hear from you
No,
again.
that's not going to happen.
And then-
That's not going to
And I
happen.
got this great call last night from Janice.
Yeah,
Would
yeah.
you like? I said, of course. I'm allowed back into the hallowed
Oh,
halls.
please. We're proud and happy to have you here with us, Tom. We have you listed as many things. One of them is a member here at B&N.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that. How's that treating you?
You know, it was great hearing Patricia speak about it. But one of the things, you know, and everything she learned, etc. But I have to say, it is a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, did we have fun?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a lot
just
of
craziness. You know, when you get in the studio, so much happens. You know, there's like an aura, a vibe. You know?
Yeah, there most certainly is. There's no question about it. You are the producer of an amazing couple of CDs that talk about a family or a group of beans
Boston's Beantown.
who happen to live
In Beantown.
in Beantown.
Beantown, and Beantown in this case is a mythical place.
Okay.
But of course, it came
Come
from.
on, it's got to be Boston.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I mean, I grew, all those places you were talking about, Talbot Ave. you
Yeah,
really grew
yeah,
up there?
yeah.
Well, there's obviously a little age difference, but I grew up on Warren Street, Dudley Street, and right
There's a
on
little age difference. You think
yeah,
so?
I think so. Well, you know, you got the hair and all, and that's gone here.
That's
but
because you think harder than I do. That's all.
But, you know, we grew up in the Berry, you
Yeah,
know, grew
yeah.
up in the real heart of the city, no messing around, and live in South Boston now. Boston boy my whole life.
Yep.
And just to think that after I retired, I became a comedian, which was just another amazing thing that
Yep.
happened. You know, to think of what came out of Boston in the 70s and
Oh, some
80s.
great things.
And Paula Poundstone,
Yeah,
Dennis Leary,
amazing.
you know, now...
What's his name on the Tonight Show? Was right from here.
Yeah. So
Jay Leno. I mean, he's a Boston guy. Come
Exactly.
on, you know?
So, I mean, we really populated the whole, not only the comedy world, but
Right.
show business for years.
And what looks like fun and frivolity is a lot of hard work. isn't it?
Brutal,
Yeah,
brutal.
It's a
I mean,
tough
just,
gig.
there's nobody, you know, here you can come and learn how to hold a camera, take a shot, and you can learn editing. Nobody can teach you comedy.
Right,
you
either.
know?
You're not.
That's it. I mean, you can listen to some guy say it, and baby, if it doesn't come across, and then, so it is, and it's brutal because you're alone.
Yeah, right. It's you up there.
You know, I mean, you've got, you know, I just loved the work you just did there. I mean, I saw, evidently, did you learn that editing here?
No, that stuff goes way, way back. And that's Tim Casey, Tim Casey and I have been playing together 33 years.
Wow.
And we started a record label called Low Budget Records.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And that's some of the things that we do there.
He got shots from The Matrix.
Yeah, he's an incredible videographer. He did a show here in Studio A called Transmission Hour. That is an award-winning show. It's just an amazing program.
I want to, before we get into that, the fact that, you know, as we go through as artists, so
Yeah.
you did music, but now you're doing visual art. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Someone handed me a tool.
Brush?
Yeah. Painting. Oh, I've always been painting. I've painted for a long time.
And that's what's happening at the Liberty.
That's what's going to be at the Liberty is my paintings.
What
of
happened
the-
first? Music?
Music
or-
happened first.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
There's no question music was first.
Yeah, once you get the bug, though, crazy things happen, right? Yeah. Fun.
Let's talk about the Bean. Now you kind of branch. Who is this?
Well, that's one of, I mean, Boston, Make Way for Ducklings. I mean, he's got the shape of a bean, right? You can see all of our characters had shape of beans. And I mean, Make Way for Ducklings, so we thought, and of course you have the Duck Tour.
Look at
So
that looks good.
We made
David, I'm
we
sorry.
made over 180 characters because they started to peg us, when we started to shop this around the country, they said, oh, it's Boston, it's not gonna Now imagine that.
What's the message behind the
Well,
whole
our message is use your bean, trust your heart, build your character.
Right.
And originally it was just to take this idea of the Boston bean and think of that. All of a sudden, nobody had ever done it before. And all of a sudden, boom, we have a mascot, we have toys, you have an actual visual character.
Yeah.
And think of, my first idea was to have him tell history of Boston through
Right.
the Paul. He could have been in Paul Revere's Saddlebags or
Yeah, yeah.
something.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and he could have talked about Bean Franklin, and so all of these things. So I
No
saw,
one is safe, huh?
Right. So, but actually, as accidents happen, everybody started to say we were too regional.
Really?
So, yeah. And I used to say like Cheers.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I like the Boston Red Sox.
Right. Well.
You know, I like Good Will Hunting. You know, but what's specific to Boston really does have an impact worldwide, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
almost certainly does.
I mean, for a city-
especially in this country. I mean, it's the birth. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
this is where we
Well,
all,
I mean,
we
for
all
a
got
city
the
our
right
s-
idea.
For our city our size.
Yeah.
I mean, 500,000
I know,
people
a
in.
small place compared to some of these.
And you know, we're just we're domination now in sports. And,
Now you're doing you do a radio,
radio
talk
show.
a blog, radio
yeah, kind
show?
of an interesting evolution. We created the toys, et cetera, and we were getting investment money. The economy came along, and all of a sudden, the investment dried up. So I was kind of left with the property myself and one of my buddies. And we said, well, we wanted to produce, we wanted to publish, we want to get stories out, want to do that. But of course, illustration is extremely expensive. Animation is prohibitive.
Yeah, forget it.
And so all of a sudden I got this idea one day, being a comedian, I was doing a comedy radio show. I put the phone down because it's all internet, and I actually heard something say, stupid, do a kids radio show.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I met this gal, Tammy Pooler, who's a comedian in Maine, and I told her I want to do a kids radio show, and she says, I don't understand. I said, well, we'll do little vignettes about the two main characters, Bucky and Betty. And so we just improvised, like I'm not a musician, but I can only imagine
Yeah,
two
jam.
jazz.
They got
You
jam. Sure.
And you create this beautiful music, and we created these beautiful stories. We got about 40 stories, hysterical.
And they're
about
on
the
two CDs now,
two
right?
CDs,
Yeah.
and we've got more coming. And all of a sudden, bam, we had content for a radio show.
Great.
So we put that up, and we play great. What I did then was, of course, you have to have guests.
Yep.
So I went out and started contacting Children's Music Network, which is a forum and also a place for all of children's musicians to come together, and bingo.
Yeah.
So now we have a radio show.
That's how. And when is that show? When does
We
that
do that
air
every
and when?
Saturday morning at 10 o'clock on Blog Talk Radio, and it's
That's
an
great.
internet show.
That's great.
Best part is it's podcast, so
Yep.
it
Yep.
goes on and
I
on.
did one of those shows for a few years.
Yeah, fun, huh?
It is fun, yeah. It's kind of really cool.
So you did that and this?
Yeah.
You're a busy guy.
I'm sound asleep right now. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But the bean, I think it's time, don't you?
Yeah,
I think it's-
do I hold him back?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure and honor to bring to the stage here at BNN.
For the first time ever.
For first time ever.
The actual Bean.
What's his name?
Well, this Bean is the Bean. He's Boston Bean.
The Boston Bean?
This is the mascot of the city.
Come on into the set here, Mr. Bean.
Here, come on over
Mr.
here.
Bean, I want to call him Mr. Bean, but he's not. Yes, folks, we have our own big Bean. But you had to ship him in from where?
He's from Russia, this
From
particular Bean.
It's a Russian big
He's not
bean.
mic'd, but can they hear him?
I don't know. Can we hear you in there?
Говори что по-русски.
Привет.
No, we can't hear him. This is a great concept. What do you eat? What does the bean get to do?
Well, the first thing, here I started this crazy concept with a bunch of kids out of college. And with coming up with all these ideas. So I said, let's make a mascot. And they're like, you can't spend that kind of money on this, you know? I said, yes, we do. So we created them, and as soon as we did, anybody gets in them, it gets, go ahead, get a little movement and everything, yeah. Everybody gets playful, and he's hysterical. So as soon as I saw him, I said, it was the 375th birthday of Boston. Benino was out there, and I saw him.
Okay.
And so I emailed him. I said, we got the thing. We sent him Photoshop of being all around with him, and we heard nothing for 5 or 6 weeks, and all of a sudden,
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
One of his assistants calls us, says, "We want you to show up at the parade.
We want the bean."
And when we put him on the street, we couldn't believe people love him. I mean, even here, they wanted to take pictures.
Mr. Bean, can I ask a quick question? Maybe you can give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Are you ever concerned about your appearance? I mean, you're quite stately there. You're quite the fellow. Does it ever bother you that you're
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
It doesn't bother you? Okay. That kind of bothers. Well, what kind of diet are you on? What kind of food do you eat? Do you eat? You don't eat baked beans.
Molasses.
Oh, molasses. Do you enjoy a nice glass of molasses every now and then? Okay. Well, that's good. I got to thank you for being such a good. That's funny. That's great. Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. Bean, for being with us. We appreciate you.
Spasiba.
We appreciate you coming in. Where else would people get a chance to
Well,
see
we bring him
Mr.
downtown every once in a while. People go cuckoo when
Yeah.
they see him. They just latch onto him. They take picture after picture and video and hug him. And not only kids, but the adults and tourists. He's really an ambassador for the city.
What's the website people can go to get more information?
www.beantownpals.
That's great. Beantownpals.com. It's a .com, folks.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Listen, I want to thank you for being
Thank you
here
so much. And,
this is great. Let us know when there's going to be a public appearance.
Well, yeah, we've been out every Sunday, but not. We're taking a little break. But look for them downtown and come to the radio show. Call in like you can call on here.
That's great.
We'll have fun.
Tom,
thank you,
Thank
Glenn.
you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Wave goodbye.
Good to see you. Listen, gang, we're going to take a quick break. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Do not go away, folks. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. We'll be right back.
Cool. He looks good on today.
Didn't I see you standing over there just the other afternoon? Hidden by shadows, waiting for a man, hidden from the sun. For a man that never comes, like a race that's never run. As the road widens, and it almost always will, you look upon this day.
Well, welcome back to the set, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. That was a lot of fun. That was great. I haven't had a Bean on the show in a while, but Tom always has some interesting, fun things going on. I do want to take this last couple of minutes to thank our great staff here at BNN. They do a phenomenal job. You may not know it, but everybody who's on a camera today is an intern, somebody who's working, studying this kind of thing at school. This is one of the things that BNN TV does, is they give interns an opportunity to come in and actually work on live TV. We've got a freshman on the camera today. She was a little nervous, I think, getting into it, but she was, it was great. This was live TV. So I think that we're not only educating, people, but I think that opportunity to be able to do real live TV is you could, afterwards that big sigh of relief happens and stuff, of course, but you find that you've done it. It's kind of like a little success thing for yourself. I want to remind everybody that tomorrow night I will be at the Liberty Hotel. downtown Boston at the old Charles Street Jail. I'm doing a one-man show. My artwork will be on exhibit there in the lobbies between 6:30 and 8 o'clock, 6 to 8, 8:30, somewhere around in there. If you're working in town and you're on your way home, or if you'd like to come in and visit with us, there'll be some nice snacks all set up and what have you, and some libation. Just come on in and say hello, please. It'd be nice to see everybody if you'd like to come. And one other thing is this show will be on your YouTube station tomorrow about this time. If you go to your YouTube station and type in It's All About Arts and the number 1, you will get to see this program again. There will be The Bean will be on for all to see. And a quick reminder that on the 30th of July at the Harriet Tubman House is going to be an exhibit of Patty Lee's great work. The reception is at 6 o'clock, and the awards presentation is going to be at 7. Music is going to be provided by the Berklee School of Music. Now, the Berklee College of Music, those cats can play. So I think that's going to be where you want to go to listen to some stuff. It's a free event. Please come down. They're going to be honoring some amazing Bostonians, and I think that it's a nice chance. If you haven't been to the Harriet Tubman House, it's a great opportunity to get in there and check it out. There's some really cool things and amazing things happening there, and Through Elliot's Eyes, curated by daughter Patty Lee. So, listen, gang, I want to thank everybody for being here with us. Next week we'll be back, and we will have somebody sitting in the co-host chair next week, checking it out. It's always a journey here. There's always kinds of things going on, but we're going to give her an opportunity to come in and check me out, see if she really wants to do this kind of thing, and I think we'll find out relatively quickly. But I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. Listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here with us. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. Get out there and do something artful for yourself this week. Go catch a show. Go listen to some music, sit down and write, do something artful, will you? And like I like to say every week, please keep in the forefronts of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please do something artful, do it for them. We'll see you next week, gang, okay? Have a great week, and we'll dig you later. Bye-bye now.